So, today we already have covered some parts of what? After 20 years. After 20 years, we saw क्या पढ़ा मैंने उसमें? We saw a scene. We saw a scene where a policeman was moving up from his fixed place, that gate, down to the avenue. Down to the avenue, walking past the avenue. The time was it was night, 10 o'clock, when he was passing by to the corner of the avenue. Suddenly, it was all dark. Okay, the policeman, the character of the policeman while walking is shown over there, that how he is walking with a little swag. He is a little stalwart, little upright, body type. Okay, with a very masculine body type and with a little swag, style, Singham kind. Okay, na? He was walking, passing by down to that avenue. Suddenly on the side of a corner of a shop. Okay. On the door, a closed door. Okay, a closed door of a shop. He saw a man leaning on the door. The policeman approached the man. Of course, what does the policeman do? Any suspect he finds, he tries to intervene in that to somehow understand, and if he finds some falsehood, some problem with them, he tries to resolve it. So of course, in the dark, a man leaning on a door, he finds on the side of the road, on some shop of the door. It's very obvious that policeman would approach and would question that why you are here at this time of the night. Okay, he suspected a little robbery. This man is to rob a shop. Otherwise, why would he lean on a door of a shop, a closed door? Okay. As soon as he approached, the man understood that police is approaching. He might question something and might understand the things wrongly. Okay. To resolve this, the man suddenly said, "It's all right, police. It's all right, man. I'm nothing here for some wrong intention. I'm waiting for a friend whom is supposed to come and meet me here. It's all about the promise that this man had promised me that he will meet me here. And this promise was made 20 years ago. So to abide this promise, he came here tonight and is waiting for that man. Okay, he's waiting for this man. What is the name of that friend he's waiting for? What is the name of that friend that he's waiting for? I told you last time. The full name? Jimmy Well. Right. And what is that shop? What is that shop that he is leaning onto? The door of the shop? Big Joe Brady's restaurant. That restaurant was a Big Joe Brady's restaurant. Was it? What is that? 20 years ago, was this shop was the same? No. Then what shop was that? It's a hardware shop now. What shop it used to be? It used to be a restaurant. 20 years ago, it used to be a restaurant. The name of the restaurant was Big Joe's Brady Restaurant. Okay. So this man started narrating the story 20 years ago and the relationship with this man whom he is supposed to meet today. Who was this man? A friend of? A very good friend of? A best friend of? This man? No, this man. Okay. This man is a very good friend named Jimmy's Well. They were raised together. They were raised together from childhood. They attained their adulthood and till then they were together. But a day came when the man decided to be apart and to go to West countries to look for some opportunities to build his career. and that, but he knew that Jimmy will never go out of New York. He will not come out of New York. He will never leave New York. But to find his opportunity to make his career, this man has to go out to look some opportunity, career line. Okay, in where? In the West Country. Okay. So ultimately, these two friends has to be aparted. These two friends has to be aparted. But before getting separated, they together made a promise of meeting each other after 20 years, wherever they might be, whatever distance they have to travel, doesn't matter. But after 20 years, whatever they become of, कुछ भी बन जाए, वो कुछ भी बन जाए, कहीं भी रहे, but 20 साल बाद यहाँ आके सेम स्पॉट पे मिलेंगे. And for the sake of that promise, this man came today and standing and is sitting outside the door of that shop and is waiting for his friends to come. He is waiting for his friend to come. Okay. So this was the last thing that I told your people. Now let's carry on forward. Where was I? So after listening this story, the policeman said that it's a very interesting story that you're telling me, but haven't you communicated with your friend in these long years? The policeman asked. And yes, the man replied, yes, I have communicated, but 2 or 3 years ago, we are not in connection. That also lost, that communication also lost. A year or a couple of years ago, that communication also lost. We are not into any connections. We are not into this, any connections. So we all know that the policeman asked that haven't you communicated with your friend this long? The waiting man, he replied, oh sure, we have communicated, but since the Western countries, the West country is such a large territory and this man has lot to do that he kept on visiting, traveling, okay, this wide territory that he became very busy into that, and since then he lost track of communication with his friend. But for sure he knew that his friend keep his word. He said that his friend is very true. True means that he always keep his words. He is a very good boy. Okay, and therefore if he is alive on this earth, he will surely come and meet him that night. After this, what does the man do? The man, that waiting man, slightly pulled off a very beautiful watch. Okay, the lid of the watch is studded with diamonds. Okay, after pulling it, he saw the time there. The time was 3 minutes to 10. 3 minutes to 10. 10 बजने में 10 मिनट बाकी था, ठीक है ना? And he also proclaimed that this at 10 o'clock at this day 20 years ago, it was exactly the time when the two got aparted. When the two got aparted from that restaurant door. Okay, it was exactly 10 o'clock when this happened. So the policeman asked, did you do very good in West? Was the business or the work that you were looking for in the West, was it good? I hope you did very well out there. The man replied, oh, very good. You bet. You bet means very good. You know. And he also said that he was so successful that he wished that he doubt that if Jimmy could have done half of his success. He wished that he achieved the success so much that he doubt that Jimmy had not done the half of it. Okay. He also continues telling that his friend Jimmy, why he would not achieve that much of success like him, because he said that Jimmy was like a ploddler plus person. Matlab, he was a lazy person, only knows to do, but he doesn't have an imaginative mind. He doesn't know a smart move in the world. Therefore, and he himself called himself what? A smartest, a wittiest person that know all the smart moves. Okay, but Jimmy has not. And because of his smartness, he achieved such vast success, and therefore Jimmy couldn't have done. Okay. So what he was doing he was actually bragging. He was actually bragging about himself. Okay, na? About his success. And why can't Jimmy couldn't have done that? He was forecasting. As because he also kept on telling that in the West, you have to compete the sharpest mind. You have to compete the sharp people in the business in order to acquire his share of benefits. It was not very easy for me. He said it was not very easy for him to do very good business there. Okay, because he has to compete some sharpest mind there. And if you are in New York, one gets to rust. One gets to rust. People are dull here. People are dull here in New York. If you want to have a sharp edge, if you want to bring in yourself a sharp move, if you want to do very good business, and if you want to become a businessman, want to become intelligent man, one must go to West. And that's what he did. He went to West, he saw people out there, wittiest people, he has to turn sharp, he has to turn smart, and what he become, and that's what he become. He became sharp people. He said that he couldn't have become the man that what he became in West if he stayed in New York. Okay, that's why he was not in New York, he was in West. The policeman then, after hearing them, he shaked his club like this and moved a step or two, and he said that okay, it's alright, I'll be get going now. I hope your friends come and meet you at the given time. I think you should call it a time. Call it a time on your friend. The time is over. The time is over. It's time you call a time now on your friend, because your friend is not going to come now. Call a time. Sharp. Now, here, after telling this line, going to call time on him sharp. क्या करोगे? टाइम तो खत्म हो गया, अब टाइम क्या वेट करोगे अपने दोस्त के लिए? Sharp. The sharp here is telling to that person. Sharp is telling he is calling that man, not just a man, but calling him sharp. What kind of what description does this word gives you? The policeman called that man sharp. Why? Because that man continuously, rigorously calling himself sharp, wittiest, smartest. Okay, just to mock him, he called him sharp. And what question did he raise? That I am going to wait for your friend because it's almost time. I am going to call time on your friend. The friend said, I should say not. नहीं ऐसा नहीं है, मैं ऐसा नहीं करूँगा. I'll provide him some other 30 minutes, other half an hour, and see if my friend Jimmy is alive on earth. He will surely come and meet me tonight. And by saying this, he paused his conversation and gave a salutation to his friend. He said, "So long, officer," means goodbye, officer. The policeman did the same. He also said, "Okay, good night, sir." And what he did after that, he went along his beat He went along his designated street for a watch. Okay, going door to door, seeing if something suspectful or not. Okay, he left. The policeman left. Just as he left, a few minutes after, rain started to pour. Rain started to pour. How was the rain? So it was cold. It was cold. It was cold, and wind started blowing steadily. The cold wind also started blowing steadily. The weather is not good. Of course, the weather is not good. So what he did? He started observing the roadside passengers who were traveling on foot. He saw the people shook off to the sides, taken a quarter, went into the corners very hurriedly. Okay, pulled off their collars, overcoat collars to cover their neck and ears and their hands into their pockets. But this man cannot go anywhere. Why? He cannot run off from the door. There is no shed over the door. There is no shed over the door. But this man cannot what? Cannot move from that spot because he is waiting for his friends to come. And if somehow he skipped the timing, his friend might come at that time, and seeing not there, he would have left. Okay, so just for precaution that his friend finds him, he is not moving from that door, and he is suffering. He is suffering all that weather glow, and because of this weather, because of this long waiting, the man's decision almost turned illogical. Now what was uncertain, that whether his friend is coming or not, although he came, but now his decision turned uncertainty to absurd. Now his decision of thinking is of waiting for his friend turns illogical. That why he is waiting. That why he is waiting. Okay, he is getting this blow, getting this wind blow, getting wet in this cold drizzle, in this rain. Why he is waiting for his friend? So his decision, which was some time before was uncertain, now turned to absurd. He is illogical. He is thinking that very illogical, very unreasonable, that why he is waiting for someone who is not showing up. Who is not showing up. Okay. So after this, somehow the scene goes on, and after some 20 minutes, a tall man with an overcoat crossed from the other side of the road and approached to this waiting man. Okay, a tall man with an overcoat, okay, approached to this man from where? From the opposite of the road. He came near to the man and very spookily he asked, "Are you Bob? Are you?" He questioned, "Are you Bob?" The man, the waiting man replied. So we get to know the name of that waiting man. What was the name? Bob. What was the name? Bob. The same did Bob said. "Are you Jimmy Wells? Are you Jimmy Wells?" Now they both understood each other. Okay. Here Jimmy felt very. This man Jimmy, he felt very delighted to know. Okay, Bob is here. Okay. He said to him after taking both of his hands into his grasp, he said, "Oh my God, I knew that if you were alive, you would certainly come and meet me today." Yes, 20 years is a long time. We waited for this 20 years, right? And it's the same restaurant, but this old restaurant is gone now, Bob. This old restaurant is no more now. It's gone. Otherwise, if it would have been here, we surely would have taken the dinner here tonight. And after stating this, he come with a question. This Jimmy, he came with a question. How did West treated you? Means, was you doing good in where? Was you doing good in West? Was your business opportunity, your career, good in West or not? Jimmy replied, oh, it was beautiful. Whatever he could have asked for, whatever he required, whatever he wanted to do, he got everything. He got everything. Okay? And after telling this, Bob mockingly, jokingly said that you have grown too tall. He asked Jimmy that you have grown too tall. Okay, he even grew tall 2 to 3 inches more than him. Jimmy replied, oh, I grew. My height started growing after 20 years of age. That when he was 20 years, that when he reached 20 years of age, after that he started growing tall. Okay, and again Bob asked one more question, that are you doing well in New York? Means you're doing good work in New York. Are you surviving well in New York, Jimmy? Jimmy replied, moderately, not so good, not so bad. Not so good, not so bad, moderately. And he also went on to telling that yes, I have a job in a city department, means police department. Not police department, government job. There in New York, when you say city departments, it's also include police officials, police departments. Okay. So he said, yeah, I acquired a job. I'm working in a city department. I'm working in a police department. And after telling this, he said to Bob, come on, Bob, let's go, Bob. We'll go to some place that he knew of. It's a very good place. There we can chit chat and we get to talk about our old days, about our old beautiful days. They started walking arms in arms. They put their hands together, folded, right? They started walking. And while walking, this Bob started talking about his business, his stay, his life, his career in West. That how big success he achieved in the West. But all he did was showing his egoism. That how conceited he is. He's bragging, he's just bragging. He's bragging about all his success, all in his career, all whatever he is talking about his career, he's just bragging about. Full of ego. Showing himself how big he is, how great he is, how successful he is. Okay. And the other in contrast, the other man was not doing anything such like that. The other man who? The man in the overcoat who is telling himself, Jimmy. He was not doing anything such like that. He was not bragging about his career in New York, anything. He was just listening to it. As soon while walking onto that side of the road, they came across to a drugstore, means medical shop. The medical shop was brilliantly lighted. Okay, brilliantly lighted. And in that light, when the two got to see each other's face, suddenly Bob was shocked and asked. Suddenly Bob, the man from the West, he stopped suddenly and released his arm, shook off his arm from the hands of the Jimmy, and said, and very shockingly he announced, you are not Jimmy, because he knew Jimmy. And he also went on to telling that why he said telling that because he knew that 20 years is very long enough, but not that long that he would not understand, that he would not find out the face, the structure of his face. He would not understand his friend, because he knew that his friend has what kind of nose? A Roman nose, which is not here, which is not, this man is having it. This man is having a pug nose. Now what is Roman, what is pug? It's a dog. It's a breed of a dog. A Roman dog and a pug. Roman has a long, slitted nose, and a pug has a square, munchy nose. From your childhood when you grow, there are certain structures which doesn't change. The characters changes, but a man's definite structures does not change. Okay, like what? I have this sit back nose, right? Not an upright nose, sit back nose, right? This I carried from my childhood, from my birth, and this will continue, right? Unless until I go for a surgery, right? What plastic surgery they name it? Nosioplasty. What they say? I don't know. Some plastic surgery they go. We know women nowadays go for plastic surgery on now and then, right? They get their kind of nose, whatever they demand of, right? So we understand that this is not Jimmy Wells because his friend had a Roman nose, and this friend, this man that who calls himself Jimmy has a pug nose. So you can't be that. After hearing that, that man who calls himself Jimmy, he said, well, I know 20 years doesn't change a man's nose, but 20 years is long enough for a man to turn himself good to bad person. Turn himself good to bad person. 20 साल इतने तो होते हैं कि एक अच्छा इंसान खराब इंसान बन सकता है, ठीक है ना? Whom he is telling to? The man. Means he is telling that you have become a bad person in this 20 years. You have become a bad person in this 20 years, and you are under arrest for 10 minutes. You will be here for me. You are arrested for 10 minutes. Silky Bob. Silky Bob. Why Silky Bob? Why he is mentioning this Bob with a pronoun called Silky? Why? How does a silk sari behave? एक सिल्क साड़ी कैसा बिहेव करता है? Not पतला साड़ी. It's very polished. It's slippery also. Silky. The ear means slippery. He is calling Bob silky means slippery because he mentioned Bob silky means he want to say Bob slippery. You are slipping. You have slipped from somewhere. You have squished yourself out yourself from somewhere. You are running away. You are running away from somewhere. And he also announced that they got a call from Chicago Police Department that there is a man on a run. There is a man on a run. एक भागा हुआ इंसान है, भागा हुआ है, and they got the news that he came down to New York. They came down to New York. So please look after him because we have more investigation to do with him. The Chicago police wants to investigate this man, wants to catch, and after that wants to investigate with this man. He explained that why he is under arrest. Okay, and he also he went on to telling that you are getting away quietly. Okay, you are planning to get away from this very quietly. We know everything that you are running away from something, and Chicago police is chasing you, and we are under obligation to arrest you on their behalf and hand it over to them. Okay, but before going there, I want to have this note read by you. He hands over a note to him. Okay, he hands over a note to him and gave it to him. This is a note. Before you go to the station, before we get you to the station, I want you to read this note that came from Patrolman Wells. This note was written by. What does this tall man wants to do? He said that before I take you to the police station, I want you to have this to read this note which is given by Patrolman Wells. Okay, I know you got to figure it out. Wells, the title is Wells. Who's Patrolman? One who is onto the one who what? What does a patrolman do? What does a patrolman do? He keeps an eye on the city. He keeps an eye on the city by roaming around. Okay, that's a patrolman. What's the title of this man? Wells. Right. The waiting man, means Bob, unfolded, opened the note and started reading this. When he started reading, his hand was steady. It was not shaking, it's steady. But as soon as he was over to finish it, his hand was trembling. His hands were trembling, shaking. The note was very brief, the note was very short. So in that note, it was written, it was designated to Bob. It was designated to Bob, it was written Bob. So there in that note, the note was from actually Jimmy Wells. The note was from there, Jimmy Wells. Jimmy wrote in the note that he came to that place at the given time. He came to that place at the given time. But when I saw your face and it exactly matched a description with a man who is wanted in Chicago. He said that I came there at the given time for the meeting. But when I came there, I saw your face, and your face exactly matches a description of a wanted man released by Chicago. Therefore, for some reasons, I do not want to arrest you myself. Therefore, I sent another man in plain clothes to do so. With the signing title, Jim. Signing title? वो बोला कि तुम्हारे दिए गए टाइम पे मैं आया ज़रूर था, पर जैसे ही तुम्हारा चेहरा देखा, तुम्हारा चेहरा मुझे अचानक से याद आ गया, ये वही डिस्क्रिप्शन है जो एक वांटेड मैन का चेहरा से मैच कर रहा है, जो कि शिकागो पुलिस ने रिलीज किया। तो बस मैं किसी वजह से तुमको खुद अरेस्ट नहीं करना चाहता था, इसलिए मैंने किसी और को भेजा प्लेन सादे कपड़े में कि वो ये काम करे। लास्ट में लिखा जिमी। Therefore we understood that this man, therefore we understand that why Bob's hand was shaking. He was shaking because of his ashamedness. Shocked and ashamed. He was shocked and ashamed. Why? Because he understood that this man, that policeman that was interrogating him, and he was stating all his things, that was no other than Jimmy. और कोई नहीं था, वो कौन था? जिमी था, ठीक है ना। और जो बड़ा बड़ा बात बोला है, बैक ब्रैगिंग एंड ऑल, है ना, वो उसको बोल रहा है, एक पुलिस ऑफिसर को बोल रहा है ना, वो एक पुलिस ऑफिसर को बोल रहा है। जिमी कौन था? वो पुलिस था। एंड यू ऑल नो दैट बीइंग अ पुलिसमैन comes with a good respect, है ना, comes with a good respect. And here Jimmy also understood that who this man is. वो तो झूठ बोल रहा है, जिमी को सब समझ में आ रहा है कि कुछ नहीं किया वेस्ट में, ये तो चोर है ना, ये तो है ना, इज अ क्रिमिनल। ये सोच उसको बहुत शर्म आ रहा है कि हम किसको बोल रहे हैं। अपने आप को बड़ा दिखाते हैं, उसको छोटा दिखा देते, जबकि वहाँ तो वो पुलिस मैन और हम खुद चोर है। और ये बात वो भी जान रहा है क्योंकि वो तो पुलिस मैन है। तो दिस वाज ऑल अबाउट दिस स्टोरी। ऑलराइट, क्लोज।